The Doc Martens 1460. They're legendary, they're stylish, they're Chinese junk. And today, we're looking at the boots that mop the floor with Doc Martens. Welcome, I'm Carl Murawski. Hope you are enjoying the channel. See, here's the thing. Doc Martens started strong decades ago. They were work boots. People wore them in factories. They were issued to UK police, but those days are long gone. Today, they're mass-produced fashion boots. Corrected grain leather coated with plastic so it looks good on a shelf. PVC soles that look chunky but break down really quick. And yeah, they're still charging $150 or $200 for them. They've got the yellow stitching, they got the heritage vibe, but heritage does not equal quality. And modern Doc Martens are the very definition of style over substance. Now, these are the Jim Green 719s, handmade in South Africa by a small factory to serve farmers, construction workers, rangers, you name it, people who rely on their boots to do their job. Now, you should know that I had a hand in creating these with Jim Green, so my opinion is going to be a little bit skewed here. But I'm gonna make the argument as to why these Jim Greens are far better than these Doc Martens. Full grain, chrome tanned leather, double row stitch down construction, Jim Green's Tyre Wedge sole. This isn't just a boot, it's a tool. And unlike Docs, it's designed to be repaired, not tossed in the trash when the soles wear out. Now, as far as comfort, Docs feel great out of the box because of that cushy sole, admittedly. In fact, Doc Martens were born out of orthopedic shoes, and those bouncing soles are much squishier than most boots. But there isn't much else positive that I can say about them. Even my made in England versions are just okay. Definitely overpriced for what you get. Jim Green, on the other hand, takes a little bit of break-in like any real boot, but once it molds to your foot, you've got support, stability, and that unique sort of comfort that comes from well-made boots. Wearing the Docs and wearing the Jim Greens are two totally different experiences. The Jim Greens have a lot more structure and support, and you feel a lot more locked in. Docs are disposable. Once the sole wears out, you're dropping another $150 or $200 in a year or two. Jim Greens, you treat them right, resole them when needed, and these things will last you a decade. Think about that, one pair of boots for 10 years versus 5 pairs of these. I mean, it's a no-brainer. If you're a boot nerd like me and you spend time on like boot subreddits and stuff, you'll find tons of posts from people lamenting their Doc Martens purchase, complete with pictures of cracked leather, sole separation, and shoddy craftsmanship. Jim Green is exactly the opposite. People are fanatical about the brand, and Jim Green has earned the kind of goodwill that most boot companies would pay millions for. Value, customer service, and their conservation efforts have created an almost cult-like following. Now let's talk about looks. Doc Martens have that iconic yellow stitch here, and if that's what you're after, nothing else, then these are the ones who have it, and I don't think anybody else does. But Jim Green's got that honest, rugged work boot kind of thing going on. These are the kind of boots that tell your story the more scuffed up they get. And as a matter of fact, there's a whole subgroup of people who like showing off the patina and wear that they put on their work boots. What kind of weirdos do that? Clearly, these are two similar yet very different boots. And if looks are high on your priority list, you may be looking for something very specific. But if you're looking for simply a good black combat style looking boot, I think that the money is well spent here. You can feel it when you pick these things up. I mean, these things have a lot more substance to them than the Doc Martens. And again, once upon a time, Doc Martens really meant something. They were kind of a signifier. They meant something culturally about where you were in society. Well, I think that has just flipped the script, and now they're just being sold to you as kind of a throwback to that time in a much cheaper version. Junk. Really, really junk. I don't even want those on my table anymore. Jim Green, on the other hand, is a really cool company. Again, people have almost a cult-like following with them for a good reason. You can get more boot for the money with Jim Green than I think you can with any other company out there. I mean, they have that following for a reason. And just do a little bit of research and you can check it out. Now, when you wear these, they are pretty damn stiff. Okay, these, with that Tyre Wedge sole and all the build stuff here, I mean, you can see that it takes a while to actually bend them. The Docs, on the other hand, you could basically fold in half. I mean, there's not really a whole lot of structure there. Now, originally, the 719 was only available in 2 colors. My personal favorite was rust. But now the fact that they've opened it up to custom orders and these new black versions here with this awesome Tyre Wedge sole means that you can get this same type of boot in a much different look. I mean, the original 719 was more of like an Iron Ranger kind of thing, a little bit more sleek, something that you could actually dress up if you wanted. But in this iteration, it's like you put Mutter tires on your truck or something. I mean, it just has a lot more attitude, a lot more of that kind of in-your-face type of thing. And this here could be a legit work boot. Now, I say that with a little bit of hesitation. You can't wear these if you need something like a steel toe or specific safety requirements. But if you're just looking for a boot that'll take a beating and keep on ticking, this will do it for you without a doubt. And then you can resole them. And that's the beautiful thing about this. So I can't wait to see these getting a lot of wear on them. Again, a place like Reddit where you can go and see a lot of people who have worn boots for quite a while and see what they're going to look like in a few years. That's a gold mine to me. And I can't wait to see what people are going to do with these. I mean, I love the fact that this Tyre Wedge sole, too, is just a gym green thing. You know what I mean? Like, that is, you can't get that anywhere else. And there's a whole reason that they did that. They have a great video I'll link to in the description. So if you want to go see the history behind the Tyre Wedge sole, you can certainly do that. So is the Gym Green 719 a better boot than the Doc Martens 1460? Absolutely. They're tougher, they're repairable, and they'll outlast a stack of Docs. If you're buying boots for work or just for life, don't fall for the hype. Get something that's actually going to last you a long time. I'll leave a link in the description if you want to check out Gym Green boots. They're awesome, but just be warned that most of the time when people buy a pair of Gym Greens, they don't stop at one pair. They keep going because they're affordable, they're great quality, and people just fall in love with that. Now, am I totally off base here? I mean, I know it's kind of low-hanging fruit to pick the Doc Martens. We all know how far they've fallen from what they once were, but am I off base? Let me know in the comment section below. I mean, some people probably still love their Docs and will fight to the death for them. But just holding these two, I mean, it's not even close in my opinion. And I hope to see the day where Docs reclaim their former glory as a wonderful boot, but I'm not holding my breath because these things are just, they're fashion junk. That's all they are. And if that's your thing, that's fine, but I don't like it. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time.